This is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing his word in all sincerity and in truth, to the hopeful elect, 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. This is the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and to feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. And I started with Romans, the 3rd chapter, for what if some did not believe? And the point I'm trying to make here is that what if some of these people, even Israelites, even these heathens, even these nations, don't believe the message that the prophets are delivering, that the fact that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. All right. What if they don't believe? You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if they believe or not, because the faith and the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai is going to stand whether these people believe or not. Who cares if they don't believe that Yahweh Shai is the so-called black man, that the real Israelites or the Jews, which is, you know, ultimately one tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is Judah, the head tribe, are the so-called Negroes here in America and spread throughout the four corners of the earth. What if they don't believe that? Guess what? It's of none effect. All right. What does it say here in the 4th chapter? It says, God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Right. So the point being is that at the end of the day, hey, the Most High is going to be true. All right. And we know our stance in the spirit that we have through the Most High, that we are correct, that we're 144% correct. All right. And what ultimately backs our claim is prophecy. All right. Which a lot of these people can't understand. A lot of these people in the world can't really they don't have the spirit to understand it. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, prophecy is going to stand on the sides of the prophets, and the will of the Most High is going to be done, whether these people believe it or not. All right. And what sparked this lesson was this video that I was watching from Fox News host Tucker Carlson denies that Hebrew Israelites, it says black people, but we know there's no such thing as black people. All right. That's a made up concept. That's a social construct created by the so-called white man to ultimately, you know, to fulfill Psalms, the 64th chapter. No, Psalm, the 83rd chapter, you know, all these nations being confederate, they cut our cords and bands, that the name of Israel be no more named amongst the Israelites, the true Israelites, that is, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they put this false narrative of you being black upon you so that they can just further hide your identity and go along with the lie that the so-called small hatters are the true people of the Most High, which is a lie. All right. But we're not black. All right. We're just Hebrew Israelites, and we come in all shades of, you know, from very dark brown to light brown to, you know, every shade of brown, you know, that we could be. All right. There's no such thing as a literal black person walking around on this planet Earth. All right. But it says that he denied that the Israelites, that we're the Israelites. And we know that, you know, he came across the elders and the apostles many years ago down on 34th and 7th Street. And they had a short dialogue with this guy, Tucker Carlson, who, you know, is a stout Christian. You know, I'm pretty sure he believes that, you know, Jesus Christ, you know, who they call Jesus Christ is a so-called white man. And he had a conversation with the elders and the apostles. And they told him straight up that, you know, hey, if you're an Edomite, you're going into slavery. And that elder apostle Tahar told him that we are the true Israelites. We are the real Jews, so to speak. And the people over there in the Holy Land are not. They're the biblical Edomites, which went far above over his head. And as he said that, you know, he just couldn't conceive it. He just couldn't believe it. It went far over his head. Well, I'm going to play a little clip and then I'm going to get to the point of the video. All right. So let me play this little clip.
Terms on that.
Okay, family, did you see that?
Let me go back.
And
did on a platform recently discussing his interview with Vladimir Putin. Watch this.
I was like, I really felt like we were just speaking so far past each other that we would never like come to. I was like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And especially when I decided or concluded that he really meant it. I was like, that's just too freaking weird to me. I was interviewing a guy one time and he started talking about the black Israelites and we're the real Jews. And I was like, and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, it was so far out to me that I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that.
Okay, family, did you see?
And that's why I read that Romans, the 3rd chapter. What if some did not believe? You think just because Tucker Carlson doesn't believe that we are the true biblical Israelites, that it matters at the end of the day? All right? And this is how Esau is supposed to feel. They're supposed to feel that we're not the chosen people, because ultimately, if they really come to the realization that we are the Israelites and they truly accept it, then everything that is written in the scriptures has to be accepted. And that one of that being is Revelations, the 13th chapter, and the 9th and 10th verse, is that he that led the Israelites into captivity will have to go into captivity. And that's the last thing that he really wants to truly accept. And the fact that if the so-called white man, as we tell them that they are the biblical Edomites, that their end is going to be complete destruction and slavery, and they're going to have to pay for everything that they have done, especially to the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And they don't want to accept that. They don't want to have to come to the reality and the terms that basically they have no forms of salvation and they're the nation that the Lord is angry with forever. And that they basically are guilty of putting their hands on the apple of the Most High's eye. And everything that we tell them according to the scriptures is going to come to pass upon them. And they're the hated nation of the Most High. They're the wicked that the Bible speaks of, the son of perdition, the devil, and Satan. You see? And that's part of why they'll never want to accept what we're out there ultimately teaching. Firstly, us being the true biblical Israelites. And if that is the case, then they're going to have to pay for what they have done to us. Scriptures tell you that those that devoured us are going to be devoured. And one of the main things they don't want to accept is the fact that they're going to have to go into hardcore captivity and slavery under the Israelites and pay for every single thing that they have done. You see? And then they don't want to accept us being the Israelites. Then that means the whole lie of what those small hats are over there doing in the land of Israel and who they're claiming to be is a goddamn lie. You see? And they will never come to the terms of that. But it don't matter anyway, because, hey, the Lord is doing what he said he was going to do. All right. So I'm going to go into these couple of precepts, just further proving the fact that us, we didn't just wake up one day and decide we want to stand on the corners and put on garments and go out and prophesy and tell the world that we are the true biblical Israelites. It was all according to prophecy, and it was already preordained to happen. And, when Tucker Carlson came across, the elders and the apostles on 34th and 7th, and he heard what they were out there saying, it was all according to prophecy. And I'm going to show you. All right. And this is Ezekiel 37:1. It says the vision of the valley of dry bones. And of course, he couldn't understand this because he's, he doesn't have the spirit of the Most High, and this is over his pay grade. But we know, this is where we have the comfort of prophecy and the comfort of the scriptures to fulfill and to explain why we're out there doing what we're doing. It says, the hand of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. Now, this is Ezekiel getting a vision from the Most High. And what Ezekiel was ultimately seeing, though it's not going to say America, it's not going to say that the valley, of the dry bones, exactly where that place is. We know spiritually, it's what Ezekiel saw was the Israelites here in America totally destitute and lost, and us not knowing who the hell we were. All right. It says, in the midst of the valley, which was full of dry bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. Remember, Ezekiel was seeing a vision from the Lord way into the future of us being here in America, not knowing who the hell we were, being black and caught up in America, just not knowing who the hell we are, man. He saw the Israelites in a land where they didn't know who the hell they were. All right. It says, and he caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Now the bones is they're talking symbolically. It's not literal. He's not seeing literal skeletons and bones walking around. He's seeing the Israelites, spiritually not, lost, man, likened unto dry bones. Because when we don't have this truth, we're basically dead, And this is what he's seeing. The Israelites in America lost, man, not knowing that we are the Hebrew Israelites, not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, just out here, just living spirit without the spirit of the Most High. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? Remember, let me read. Let me see if I can get this real fast. This precept I'm thinking about. I know it's like in Deuteronomy. Let me see if I do this. Guess I can get one of these. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. Life and death. Here we go. I started Deuteronomy 30 and 15. And see, it says, choose life. It says, Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. You see? And this is why when Ezekiel saw those bones, those Israelites in that valley, they were dry bones, because they were basically, spiritually dead, because our lifeline is the observance and the obedience unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. These laws, statutes, and commandments are our lifeline, and with them, that what gives us life. That what makes us who we are as a people, as a chosen people unto the Most High. All right. It says, and that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. Now, of course, even though Jake is breaking the laws of the Most High, of course, they're obviously still alive. They're still walking and breathing. But in a spiritual sense, when we're not walking in the commandments, in the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, it makes us spiritually dead and very dry. And that's what Ezekiel was seeing in the 37th chapter, which I'm going to go back to. It says, and that Yahweh thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over Jordan to possess it. And I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love Yahweh thy power, and thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which Yahweh sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, to give them. Okay. So this is why, Ezekiel was seeing these dry bones in the state that they're in, because basically, this is him seeing us here in America totally, walking in the way of death, not according to the ways and the obedience of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. So then the Most High the angel said unto him, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? Now, how can the Israelite live, according to what I just read in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, is by walking in the law, statutes, and the commandments, and to love Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai all the days of our life, and be obedient unto his law, statutes, and commandments. That's our life. That's how we're able to live. You see, but when you go outside of that, what is it? Death. Now, it can be a physical death where the Lord can judge you and put you to death. But spiritually, you're dead because you're not walking according to the ways of life, man. And this is exactly what Ezekiel is seeing here in the 37th chapter in this vision. The dead Israelites, dead to, their spiritual connection and the obedience of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now, the angel said, can these bones live? And I answer, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. Again, he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones. And this is why you're seeing all the camps out there on the highways and the byways, because we're literally fulfilling this prophecy right now. We're prophesying unto the dead bones, which is the lost Israelites, and we're breathing unto them what? Well, we're not, but through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're breathing unto them the breath of life, which is the spirit of the Lord and this truth. Waking them back up to the fact, that's where it starts, the fact that we're coming back to the understanding that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, that we are a people that are loved and likened and joined to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. First, it starts with you waking up in your mind and accepting the fact that you're an Israelite. And then through your faith, you start to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You turn away from the ways of this world. You come out of the darkness of this world. You put away Christmas, you put away Easter, you put away the ways of this life, and you get back on the old path wherein is the good way, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, and our obedience to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability, man. All right. And he said again unto me, prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh. You see, because the word of the Most High is what? This is our lifeline. This is like the resuscitation back unto us. Like I said, first the Spirit entering you hearing the prophets, you getting the understanding of who you are, your faith continues to grow, and you start to live and move and rehearse the righteous acts, man. That's what brings our people back from a spiritual dead state, is coming back into this truth and back into Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and calling upon the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you. And what is the breath, man? It's not a literal breath. It's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai entering into us to give us the understanding of who we are. All right. And the word is rawah. It says the breath, wind of heaven. The seat right here, see the spirit as that which breathes quickly in animation or agitation. The spirit, animation, vivacity, vigor. This is the spirit of what? The Most High, man. And it's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that has given the elect the ability to receive and understand this truth. And that's why, 2/3 of our people, they can't receive the breath of the Most High. No matter how much we prophesy and preach and try to break this word down to them, if they weren't able to receive the breath of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and the spirit of the Lord to understand this truth, they're not going to be able to do it. You see? It says, look, prophetic spirit, the spirit of the living, breathing being in man. And, here we go, as gift preserved by the Most High spirit departing at death. But that's the point. Preserved by the Most High, the spirit of the Most High entered into us. I'm gonna show you that. You see? So here we go. Look, as impelling prophets to utter instruction or warning, and you see, endowing men with various gifts. You see, and ultimately that spirit is the spirit of the Most High to go into the elect, to give us the understanding to go into these scriptures, to understand prophecy. And ultimately to be a part of the elect. It says, and he said again unto me, prophesy unto these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High. And it tells you that in Psalms 119. How shall a young man cleanse his way? By hearing of the word of the Most High, man. You see, and this is how these bones, which are, the Israelites here in America, the elect, are receiving these, hearing the prophets, receiving the word of the Most High, and his spirit is entering us. And now we understand who we are. And now we're able to go into these prophecies and into this truth. And that's why you see us out there on the highways and the byways doing what we're doing. You see, and this is being fulfilled right now. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And what does that mean? The Lord put the spirit on us to be able to understand this word. He brought us out of, he brought us back to who we truly are, our true nationality. And what comes with that, we now we see all the lies. We know who Esau is. We know who these other nations are. We understand why we're in this condition. And you see the elect standing upon their feet, and we're prophesying and we're proclaiming the truth right before our enemies' eyes. And this is why, when Tucker Carlson came up to the elders and the apostles and he heard those dry bones, which are now living bones, telling him what he was telling them, he wasn't able to receive it, man. It says, thus saith the Lord unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. You see? And what is the sinews and what is the flesh? Is us basically having the full understanding of who we truly are as being the Hebrew Israelites, man. You see? And that's how these dry bones are now living. And this is how the sinews, the flesh, and the skin, and us standing upon our feet now, and us having the names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has brought us back to life, spiritually and physically, but mostly we have been spiritually made alive again. And now we're walking in the ways and the obedience of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability. All right. And everything that I'm reading here has nothing to do with what happened in 1948, man. Because where do you see these 1948ers? When did they ever have to stand up and prophesy and preach unto their people to wake them up to being, the JOOs? According to them, they never lost their nationality. They've always knew who they were. So this prophecy don't fit those 1948ers, man. But it fits those Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and the men on the corners calling themselves the real Israelites. It fulfills us doing what we're doing. It says, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and I prophesied. There was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, come for the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And ultimately, the breath is the full, complete understanding of this truth. And this is what you see happening in these last days. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And this is why you see all these different Israelite camps all over the earth, because this prophecy is being fulfilled. You got a lot of our people, a lot of these bugged out Israelite groups who teach bugged out things, but ultimately who don't have the full breath, but ultimately, they are waking up into the fact and teaching our people that we are the biblical 12 tribes of Israel. And this is why you see all these different camps and these different Israelite groups all over the planet, because this prophecy is coming to pass. And then he says here, the vision explained. It says, then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. You see, because it was only here in America, that we've truly lost our nationality. This was the only time where we totally lost the fact that we were the Israelites. Like I said, we've been calling ourselves Black, African American, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Dominican, Haitian, Jamaican, West Indian or whatever, that's the valley is America. And this is where this prophecy ultimately had to be fulfilled. And this is why you're seeing all these different men here, mainly in America, Central South America and all around the earth, coming back to the realization that we're the Hebrew Israelites. You see, it said, then said he unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts, because that's what was happening for a long period of time, man. All right. We was lost here in America, not knowing who the hell we were. None of us grew up knowing that we were Israelites, keeping the customs, laws, statutes, and commandments, keeping the Passover until this prophecy ultimately, was fulfilled. And now we're standing upon our feet, and now we're coming back into the ways of our forefathers, right before the eyes of our enemies. And and like Tucker Carlson, he doesn't see it. He doesn't want to understand it, but it don't matter, because the will of the Lord is going to be done. It says, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Now, that part hasn't yet to be fulfilled, but ultimately the Lord has opened up our graves, meaning that we've come out of the spiritual death of not knowing that we're the Israelites. And now we're walking and we're living, and we're living again, because we know who we are. We know the name of our power, which was taken from us, as part of the punishment from us being disobedient to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which Esau and these other nations capitalized off of us being, in these graves. And they were never going to tell us the truth of who we truly are. And that's why recently you had Putin open up those archives and pull out that dark image of Yahweh Shai, which is something that we've been explaining and prophesying through the Spirit of the Most High, that Yahweh Shai is a man of color, going into what happened during the Dark Ages, how we ruled Europe, the Moors and all that, going into that history, going into, the Byzantine Empire, and after the fall of the Roman Empire, how Jake moved up in the position of power and ruled Europe, for 1,000 years, man. All right. It says, where was I? Oh, yeah. It says, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and I shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord. All right. And that's the part that we're waiting to be fulfilled, for us to be literally taken back by Yahweh Shai back into the land after the destruction and devastation of Babylon, the Great America. All right. Let me get this. Revelations 11, man. You see, so us waking up and these things happening are all signs of prophecy being fulfilled, man. And who gives a damn if a guy like Tucker Carlson doesn't believe, man? Because if he is an Edomite, he's going directly into slavery, and everything that is written as far as Esau is concerned is going to come down upon him, man. All right, and this is a Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city." And what is that great city? Babylon the Great, which is America. Just like in Ezekiel 37, that valley of the tribe, that valley is America as well. You see, and it's speaking about the same instance. This is the land where we were lost, where we were in this dead state. We didn't know who the hell who we were. But now in these last days, the Lord has put his breath into us and put the flesh back upon us. And now we're standing before these devil's eyes, fulfilling prophecy that we are the Israelites, man. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt," which is also spiritually speaking about America, all right? "Where also our Lord was crucified," where Yahushua wasn't crucified here, but he was crossed out. He was X'd out. Like I said earlier, he was X'd out, and now they give you so-called Jesus Christ. They give you the white image of the Messiah, which is a lie. Like I said, when Putin cracked open those archives and pulled out that dark image of Yahushua, hey, a lot of these so-called white Christians here in America lost their shit. They totally, started burning Bibles, started going crazy because it totally destroyed their belief and faith that who they call Jesus Christ is a so-called white man, which they knew in their hearts of heart that he ain't no goddamn cracker. But hey, the fact that was shown, it further, proved that everything that we've been saying is true as far as Yahushua being a man of color, and everything else that we're saying, is on point and is true according to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But we know that these people are not going to accept it, but they're going to accept it when the reality finally hits them in the face, when all is unveiled and Yahushua comes back and sets the record straight. It says, "And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half," which is the 350 years, man. When we were totally lost here in Babylon the Great, and that 350 years ended like around the early 50s and 60s, man. That's when when the truth of the Israelites started to come to light. That's when the Lord started to, brought back Elijah, which is Abba Bivens, and started to return the hearts of the children back to the fathers. And we started to come to the realization that we were the Israelites, and Ezekiel 37 chapter started to be fulfilled. And look at where it's gotten us today. You see, and these nations for the longest of times, and like we say all the time, these other nations, they know who the hell we are. They know we're not no goddamn Africans. They know we're not black. They know we're not just some downtrodden, just destroyed people. These elites of these different nations, they know that we're the biblical Israelites. A lot of those Ishmaelites, those Arabs, those so-called Middle Eastern nations, they know that we're the biblical Israelites, but they're not going to tell you that because they understand the power that comes with us, standing up as a people and coming back to our nationality, man. See, but, it was going to happen whether they took us out of these graves or not. But, that doesn't, it was going to be fulfilled regardless. It says, "Shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves." You see, the only way that we were going to be, our dead bodies were going to be taken out of these graves was through what I read in Ezekiel 37 chapter. It was going to be through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that was going to enter into us. It was never going to be given or done by any help of these heathen nations. And now they're mad. You see, this is why Esau went so hard to try to keep you, Jake, in this downtrodden perpetual state of confusion. Try to keep you lost and put these proverb and byword type of names upon you, give you a false identity of reality, hoping that you would never come to the realization of who you truly were, which was going to be a failed mission anyway, because it was all prophetically set up for a particular time for us to receive the mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and for for us to for these dead bodies to be, for these dry bones to live, man. It says, "And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, and they that dwelt upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth." You see, so these nations were all in cahoots. They were all confederate one with another. Let me see if I can get that, man. I know it's Psalms 82. Oh, 83. So this is Psalms 83 verse, let me see. This is Psalms 83 and 2. It says, "For lo, thy enemies shall make a tumult, And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. Who's the top of the list? The tabernacles of Edom, which is the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. You see? So these nations are all confederate in the fact that they never wanted our dead bodies to be taken out of these graves. And they were never going to come down and tell you Israelites, ask us how we were doing, to come up and tell you, look, you know, you are the chosen people of the Most High. You're a special people. You can't worship other gods. You got to go back to your God, Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. These nations was never going to tell us that. All right. And they were all confederate and going on with this lie and this confusion, you know. They all played a hand in making sure that we would never come to the realization of who we truly were. You see, but now that shit has flipped, and now the Spirit of the Lord has entered into us, and now we're standing upon our feet, and now these nations are bugged out, they're scared, now they're nervous because they know, you know, that the true biblical Israelites have waken up. And now we're standing upon our feet and we're telling them to their face, you know, that they're about to go into slavery. They're going to pay for what they've done unto us, and all of their lies and all of their wickedness and all of their, you know, them being the head and us being the tail is about to come to an end. And they're about to receive their ultimate judgment from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And they're going to be slaves in our kingdom as we were slaves unto them in this kingdom. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. You see? And that's the times that we're living in right now. This is why Tucker Carlson, when he came across the elders and the apostles, he heard what he heard. And now he doesn't want to believe it, but we don't give a damn whether he believes or not, because they're not supposed to believe. But they are going to believe, hey, when Yahweh Shai comes and fulfills all things that we've been prophesying and saying would happen at the end of the day. So at the, you know, so, let me get this one, man. And this is part of it too, all right? And this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 30. It says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And how are we being comforted now? Through these scriptures, man. Through prophecy being fulfilled. We're being comforted by the word, knowing that, hey, this is not the end all be all for Jake, man. We're about to be delivered. We're about to receive salvation. We're about to receive the laws and statute commandments in our inward parts. We're going to see the fall of our enemies. The Lord's going to give us the neck of all of our enemies, and we're going to be a righteous and holy people and have a everlasting kingdom which will never diminish or ever fall again. You see? It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. See, and that's part of the valley of dry bones. These cities which we serve, mainly here in America, they're going to ultimately be destroyed, because these were the places where we were ultimately in that valley of dry bones, not knowing who the hell we were, catching all type of hell, man, being lied upon, slandered, you know. I mean, just look at our people right now. That's the result of us being in these cities and being in the valley of dry bones. It totally destroyed us, man. But the water Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for the elect. It says, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. You see, and this is what Tucker Carlson don't want to have to accept, is the fact that everything that we've been saying is true. And that, that it's a righteous thing to the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that troubled us, man. He don't want to hear that they got to have to go into slavery for putting us in slavery. You know, as they have done unto us is going to be done unto them. They don't want to hear that, man. You see? But they're going to hear it anyway, and they're going to see it and live it in real life pretty soon. It says, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. You see? This is called payback, retribution, you know? Everything that we had to endure, hey, you nations are going to have to endure it as well. You're not going to get away scot-free, man. You're going to pay for what you have done. It says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. And that's dealing with the total destruction of America, of Babylon the Great. You see? That's why this place is likened unto Sodom and Gomorrah, because it's going to receive the same judgment as Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east. And behold, the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come who thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. And that's what you see happening. That's why we're out there on the highways and the byways. That's why you see all these jakes waking up to the fact that they're Israelites, is because our people are being called and being gathered by the word, which is the comforter. And this is how we're comforted, and we come back to the realization of who we truly are, was by the teaching of the word of the Most High, by the word of the Holy One, which in these last days has entered into the spirit of the elect, and we're standing upon our feet. We know who the hell we are, and we don't give a damn whether you believe it or not, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.